Oh my god. I'm so thirsty. And it's so hot. It's fine. It's fine. There's only 2 hours left! No! Hi, I'm Elliot, and as some of you may know, I was in my school's band up until recently. Now, I don't know how other schools do it, but here, if you're in band, you're also in marching band. And oh boy, it's tiring. And maybe it's just my lack of athletic ability, but in my defense, I live in the state of Texas, where the temperature can go up to 100 degrees in the summer and it's humid. Jokes aside, band was honestly a super fun experience. It felt way more tight-knit compared to orchestra or choir, probably because we're stuck together for months with early morning rehearsals and football games every Friday night. And spending that much time together just does something to you. Like, I'm 90% sure I picked up a few talking habits from some people in my section, and I have very mixed feelings on that, but oh well. And even though I complain about marching band a lot, I still have a soft spot for it. That said, I definitely preferred concert band. The music is sick 8 out of 10 times. I love how the sound projects and feels on stage. And most importantly, there's air conditioning and tuxedos instead of these. I looked so good in a tux, especially when we switched the white shirt and bow tie for black with a regular tie. Still, marching band has its own charms, and despite my whining, I made a ton of amazing and chaotic memories. Take band camp, for example. The first week was brutal. The heat was unbearable, my feet hurt, the sun was blinding, I was parched, and to top it off, I lost my mouthpiece like 3 months in. Quick note, if you're in marching band, make sure to stay hydrated. Also, for brass players, secure your mouthpieces. Those things are not cheap. Marching itself was rough, especially backwards marching. I kept tripping and not taking big enough steps because they feel twice as big as you think they should be. I was pretty decent at it by sophomore year though, but that definitely took some time. Speaking of band camp, my band had this tradition called the Secret Breakfast Retreat, or SBR for short. Most of the students called it kidnapping though, and don't worry, guardian consent is involved. Basically, upperclassmen would wake up freshmen at like 4 or 5 a.m., maybe earlier, and then drag them to breakfast, play some games, and then we'd all go to rehearsals. It sounds a little dangerous, maybe a lot, but it was fun. For my freshman year, my section played our fight song to wake people up, then gave us some donuts after a quick game of Jackbox Quiplash, and then I think we went to the park and then to rehearsals. I did hear this from my director that apparently another section, I think it was probably low brass, went full chaos mode. They had classical music playing, 2 guys slow dancing in a corner, and someone in a suit reading a story. And it sounded absolutely hilarious. And, my section wasn't that creative, but it was still a good time. They actually got rid of SBR this year, though, for safety reasons, which, makes sense. I'm more surprised it lasted this long, though, considering how many section leaders ignore the no carpooling without a guardian rule. And y'all know how reckless teenage drivers can be. And, of course, I can't forget about the competitions and football games. I love state and invitational competitions, mostly because I get to see and interact with the other bands, and sometimes it felt like meeting celebrities, like when our prop crew talked with Flower Mounds, but also competing against Flower Mound and Hebron, it's brutal, okay? Like, they're literally one of the top 3 marching bands in the nation. And during my freshman year, our head director split the band into 3 groups. Contest show, traditional show, and prop crew. I was on prop crew, which meant my marching was decent but not contest level. So unless someone was missing, I wouldn't be in the show. Honestly, I didn't mind. Props was chill and it was really cool talking to other crews at contests. By my second year, the director had scrapped the 3 groups and put everybody into the show. Too many people had slacked off the year before, thinking, someone else will play. So, yikes, you can imagine how that went. That year, I was actually put into the main show, which surprised me because I thought I'd be an alternate since my marching was kinda buns. Oh, but the uniforms for that show were whack. We looked like this Roblox shirt, and I have the receipts to prove it. Our traditional uniforms that are used yearly looks fire though, so I guess it cancels out. Also, my section didn't have seniors that year, so our section leaders were juniors, and they made things way more fun. We had multiple section parties, beginning of the year pool party, a Christmas party, and an end of the year PowerPoint night. That ended up being my last year though, since I wanted more time for art, graphic design, and eventually this channel. Now, let's get to the football games. I'ma be honest, I have zero interest in football. But being in the stands with the band is so much fun. And let's be real, most people show up just for the band anyways. My favorite stand activities were definitely roller coaster and suicides. Roller coaster was just chaos. You put your instrument somewhere safe and follow the drum major's movements like choo, 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 choo. Woo! Woo! People always ended up piled on top of each other, but it was hilarious, and surprisingly, no one ever got hurt. As for suicides, if you don't know, it's this thing trombones and mellows do where one person moves left, another ducks, and it alternates like this. It gets crazy fast, and as a freshman, it was terrifying. If you're even a little off time, you could get smacked. And getting hit with a chunk of metal ain't fun. Not for you or your potentially dented instrument. I actually almost hit someone once. Good thing it was just our bells that hit, and it thankfully didn't dent. I'm still super sorry about that, Jake. But beyond the chaos, there were also some really wholesome moments. Like this one time, it started raining hard at a game. Like extreme winds, full downpour. We had to take shelter in a tunnel under the stands, and we barely had any water, and service was so bad we couldn't even contact people. And, at first it was fun being under the stadium with everyone, but after a while we were exhausted. I remember an upperclassman from my section was handing out water bottles that staff brought down to other section members. And I'd already gotten my fill, so I declined, but I really appreciated the gesture. Something about that moment really stuck with me. Maybe because it was just such a human experience where people were looking out for each other even when we were all miserable. That section member ended up becoming a squad leader the next year, and honestly, she totally deserved it. Love, love, love our SLTs, by the way. They're all such wonderful people. And lastly, of course, you can't forget the pep rallies. Our school does this thing where the band marches from the Performing Arts Center, which is on this side of the school, all the way to the gym on the other end while blasting our traditional show song. It's so loud and chaotic because of the stairs in the middle of the path and the sound just ricocheting off the walls, but the experience is amazing. Having the whole school watch you like that is just so surreal. There's so much more I could talk about, but I had to cut stuff or this video would be way too long. But I might do more parts that go into detail if you guys are interested. And if you're unsure about joining marching band, I'd be happy to answer any questions. But overall, it's definitely one of the best parts of my high school experience. And I may not be continuing due to personal reasons, but marching band was a catalyst for me. It reignited my passion for the arts, and I know it sounds corny, but honestly, it helped me through some of my darkest times. Even though it was physically draining, it gave me a sense of purpose when I needed it most. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble, and consider subscribing if you like my content. Also, leave any questions or recommendations in the comments. Bye!